Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch, twitch.com. Search at Tom and Dan Live or Tom and Dan Live. We're also on YouTube, and that's where most people watch, pretty much anything. So just search for at Tom and Dan Live. Like and subscribe. There's tons of content on there. Cartoons, shorts, lots of fun stuff. I think you'll like it.
Also, if you want tickets to an awesome beer fest that me and Daniel will be at, a lot of other, I know a lot of people from Real Radio go to. It's the Science Center Beer Fest, Science on Tap.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to forget it.
And it happens. I paused for 1 second.
I know.
I did forget it.
It's like sitting at a light. It's like sitting at a light. I'm like, this mother effer ain't going to go. And I've got my hand on the horn. I'm like,
or just wait.
No, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Science on Tap. You can go to osc.org and get your tickets. It's a really high-quality beer fest.
Yeah.
30 different breweries. Lots of fun and games out there.
My favorite fun game out there is when my good friend Sabrina Ambra of the News Junkie gets on the microphone and drunkenly tells everybody that we're giving away a brand new Subaru. And we're not. We're not giving away anything. We're not giving away. It's just parked there. It's just for people to see. But she said we were giving it away. And then people all afternoon coming up to me asking me, hey, where do I get the raffle tickets? There is none. There's no raffle. Sorry.
Joey Mazzant is here. How you doing, Joey?
What's up, guys? Good to
What's
see
up,
you.
buddy? How are you?
Really good, man. Living the dream.
So I asked Joey to come in today because I went to Fort Wilderness over the winter break.
And I have a gripe.
No, not a gripe. We've started this tradition a couple of years ago, maybe our third year going to Fort Wilderness over the Christmas break. Now we got some friends going. The kids run around. Although I will say that with all the money Disney makes, you could add in a couple bathrooms with their own door in it, so I don't have to brush my teeth while some dad is straight up pouring out a fish tank in the stall next to me.
No, hold on a second. You have to slow down. So you mean to tell me? Because look, I don't really remember going to Fort Wilderness, but I know we went a lot.
Yeah.
And most of the time, if we did a number one, it was in the camper. The only time you'd go to the bathhouse is for showers or number two. Yeah. Normally just a number two, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember there not being, so it's just it's like prison style, just toilet and then mirror in front.
No.
So when you go to sit down, there's just no door?
No. I mean, it's a standard public restroom where there's sinks, there's some urinals, and then there's some, toilets with doors.
You want it divided.
Well, I just mean, like, can you get your own toilet and sink with your own door that's private, so it's not so much
That's not a bad idea.
Because
would you take the prison one that I see in Europe that's very popular where the sink is on the top of the toilet and when you brush your teeth the water goes back down into the fill tank?
I don't want to brush my teeth on top of a toilet.
I kind of want one of those.
Oh, dude.
I kind of low-key want a prison toilet.
Now, don't get me wrong, it is the nicest commodities in Florida tent camping, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's got your own comfort house, which there's showers.
Yeah.
The showers are nice.
I mean, it's even better than
heated.
River Ranch, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but if you are tent camping, you have to, go in with your family and you brush your teeth while other dads that have been eating horrible tent or
chili
camping
dogs
food.
And Mick Ultra and chili dogs.
Disney's are stressed, mad,
hey,
drunk.
Right. Yeah, there you go, sponsored by Mick Ultra.
And then they're blowing it up.
Yeah.
And then when you have to blow it up, you have to go in there.
And it's hot.
At a time.
I don't it's not the smell, it's the heat.
Yeah.
I don't like the heat in there. Your body gives off.
Yeah.
I think my body raises about 18 degrees when I'm going number two.
But it's like
it gets real hot.
And the problem is that all the dads, their time clock.
Yeah. It's all the same.
Their doo-doo time clock is all in the morning.
You know why it's all the same?
We've been drinking all night, and we woke up and we had coffee, and then we had to doo-doo, and then that's where all the dads...
Coffee will loosen the digestive tract.
So then we all go there, and then it's just they're blowing it up, and there's people in line. I'm like, oh, God, I have to go back. And then I'm like, I'll go to the other one that's less busy.
No.
I ride my one wheel there. Oh, yeah. And then
How does it feel riding your one wheel when you really gotta go? Are you riding very fast? Are you hauling ass like Batman?
it's better because you could plank stand while you ride.
That's true. That's true.
And when you're walking,
Yeah.
like you have to literally freeze and
Yeah, it's
plank.
hard. It's hard for me. Like I have to walk with my knees locked when I have to go number 2.
yeah. You have to put your knees straight.
Yeah, I walk
It's
like a North Korean soldier.
It's like you're carrying the heavy weight from the strongman competition between your
I
legs.
walk like Magnus Magnusson.
Anyway, this is not what I wanted to talk to Joey about.
Okay, please,
I'm
please.
listening.
So, Joey,
Rip the Band-Aid off.
So I found out recently by staying at the Fort Wilderness that, and we didn't even know this because the vans pick up nothing, but our friends told us, they're like, hey, did you realize you get free passes to Blizzard Beach if you're staying at a resort? At Disney for like, I guess this month or whatever, maybe because
Free diarrhea pool with purchase.
Blizzard Beach is not as packed and maybe they're offering it as an incentive or whatever. And I'm like, really? And then so we found out that, you know, obviously we rented just a pad to camp on, and it's us and the Wizards family. So, and you're allowed to have 10 guests registered on the Fort Wilderness tent camping site. 10.
Yeah.
Right? So we were able to then register all of our family, the Wizards family, which is 6 of them. So all 10 of us got free tickets to Blizzard Beach. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's a ticket to Blizzard Beach cost? It's like $85 or $90. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's not cheap.
A $900 value they gave us. And then I was like, well, why doesn't someone just rent a camping spot at Fort Wilderness and get $900 worth of free
And
Blizzard
you
Beach?
don't even have to camp. I'll just go home.
Yeah. Well,
Take your pad and shove it.
You can get parking and then transportation over to Blizzard Beach, and I'm like, that's a way to scam $900 and get free Blizzard Beach. Now it's cold, I will say, but it was a nice day at Blizzard Beach because it wasn't packed. And then
I mean, what if you just want to go there and look at children? That's a pretty easy.
Well,
that's not a lot of money to spend.
the kids don't mind being cold as much. Like, I'm not in the water. I'm there with jeans and a hoodie, but I'm getting drunk, and the kids are running around. I'm like, this is pretty good deal.
I would walk around Blizzard Beach and drink beer and look at children for a small amount of money.
yeah, that's all.
Or free.
So, did you know about this, Joey?
Yeah, it's not. Of course, the Fort Wilderness, the campsite, 10 people to a site. That's a loophole everybody uses. Even I know a family. No, I don't mean
Kick him out.
No,
Don't let him.
I'm sorry.
You know what
sorry.
he doesn't. He was supposed to go like, oh
Okay.
wow, Tom.
I've
Did
never heard that.
I give away one of your trade secrets?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
I wish it used to be a trade secret.
You gonna
Now
let him laugh in
everybody
your
knows.
face like that?
Never.
I wouldn't let him
Well,
laugh in my face.
I was surprised. It looked like, what's weird too is there's a lot of empty campsites around, and I'm like, this is weird, and I bet they're booked, and then they're just booked, and no one goes to them, right?
Bingo.
Okay. Because it's pretty dead. It's quiet as hell. It's the quietest campground in Florida. I will say that. Every other campground, reggaeton.
Because you got a bunch of guys driving around telling them to knock it off.
Yeah.
It's we get families sometimes. You'll have people that'll come to town. Let's say it's a big family reunion. Maybe there's 30 people. Over on 192 across from where Animal Kingdom, where the studio is for people that are applying and whatnot, you go right across there, and there's a bunch of like 14-bedroom, 8-bathroom mansions that you can Airbnb for your whole family.
The Davenport, as they call it? Okay.
That's the one. And so what'll happen is, so you got 30
little
people.
mini sausage castles. Tons of them. Tons of little sausage castles everywhere.
It's crazy. And so what they'll do is you'll have 30 people, and what they'll do is they'll rent 3 campsites at Fort Wilderness because you also get into the parks an hour early if you rent one of those. So these guys are like, well, look, here's the deal. So if it's $139 a night to get a campsite, we can spend $400 a night. All 30 of us can get into the parks early. We don't actually have to stay there. I'm not going to put a beanbag chair on a piece of
just
asphalt.
Rent it, and and you register 10 guests on it, and then now you can get free tickets to Blizzard Beach.
I think Disney should do like Kobe. All of the guests must be present at the slab. You must be present at the slab before we will give you the ticket.
Right, make them show up, sit on the slab
You
for
gotta-
at least an hour. And
I need an inflated air mattress for everybody.
Now,
It's like do it like a life vest.
here's what we're making a lot of
Tom's
people
gonna
that
hate
have
that
been
idea.
using this loophole mad because we're talking about it, I'm sure. But it's been around for a while, and Disney usually shuts down these
It's
things.
not a loophole then.
But they've left it open.
Well, here's the beauty of it. It's not like they're selling out. Disney's like, so you're telling me you want to spend $400 a day to get your family into the park an hour early? All right, we ain't mad at you.
Yeah, okay, all right. So, but normally that would cost a lot more if they did it the traditional way, right?
Yeah, like we talked about last time I got yelled at. For $800 a night, you can stay at the Contemporary, and yeah, you can do that. But if you're only staying there to get into the park early, I'll save you $650,
How can we make Melissa cut this out and make it go viral? Because I'm still getting people yelling at me on that.
I tried last month. I tried to give you some real angry stuff. Nobody ran with it.
It's all random. It's impossible
Nobody
to do.
knows what's happening, man.
So you said another loophole that people can take advantage of for the next couple months, right?
It's pretty awesome. It's one of my favorite ones. We were actually going to do it at Christmas. So my favorite water park, Volcano Bay. I love it. I think it's a blast. I think the theming's brilliant.
I think it is probably universally considered the best water park in Central Florida.
I've never been, so
Oh, dude.
It's
I
got
will
the best.
reserve my vote.
It's got the best rides. I've been to all of them. I think.
Yeah.
Even the SeaWorld one.
Aquatica.
Which is not that good.
Yeah, you and I went. You and I went to
Yeah.
Aquatica with some free tickets from the radio station.
Typhoon-
That's how long ago we went.
Yes,
and we
yeah.
saw some kid diarrhea in the water.
No
It was,
way.
yeah, it was disgusting.
20 years ago.
Yeah, Aquatica is horrible.
They're all. I mean, if you're talking about diarrhea,
I mean, Aquatica's got the most because you got the fish in the water. Like that park is made.
Yeah, we're not
for,
swimming in the fish water.
That's how
but
you feed 'em.
They do have that one slide that you go down where the dolphins are kind of near it, so they're trying to like make you think.
Yeah.
You're like, you're near them while you're in the tube.
But I would say Aquatica's got the best slides and other water park rides comparatively.
Not Aquatica. You said Aquatica.
Sorry. Volcano Bay.
Yeah.
So what's really
Typhoon Bay.
Typhoon, yeah, the space book. What's really cool is we talked about this before. Like if you go, it's the unfortunate part about having a summer birthday like me. You go in July, and I'm like, I'm gonna rent a cabana for my birthday, and they're like, it'll be $1,100. I was like, oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
You go in December or January, and if you go on a day when the park is open, you got you'll have to do it last minute. But let's say you catch a lucky maybe 82-degree day in January, their cabanas are all the way down to like $400. After 1 p.m., they're 30% off.
Okay.
So you can live like a low-key budget baller for $280. You get your own private cabana, your own private waiter or waitress, your own tapu system. So that is the cool. But again, it's day of. You got to find 5 friends that aren't doing anything that day, and you got to show up at like 12:50, go to guest services, and hope there's a cabana available. But you go during. I mean, who's going? It's snowing up north. Who's going to go to a water park when it's snowing?
There was no cabanas at all that were filled with anybody at the during the break or whatever, and it was January 3rd maybe when we went or whatever, and it was completely empty. I thought about it, but the problem is like everything was empty, so I was like, am I going to pay $200 just to go 10 feet over in a cabana? I'm like, I'm already by myself.
I've done that before. I have.
And when no one else is in the other cabanas, it does feel lonely.
And it may have been at a Disney park. I think I bought a cabana for maybe even like one of Maisie's younger birthdays. And it was like the cabana was good, but don't get me wrong, the people next to me had the same setup, and they just walked over and sat down. And I was like, like, oh man, I was like, oh god. And I'm not, I'm not cheap, but that's a stinger, Like I'm like, oh god.
Because the cabana is only good if everything is packed and everybody's miserable.
Yeah,
and
you're not.
And then they say right this way, and then you go, and then you're in a non-packed area,
Correct.
and then you're looking at everybody miserable, and you're like, I paid for that.
Yeah.
But if everything's empty, and you're sitting there.
If it's all an even playing field, if everybody is the same,
then you're like, well, this is not that good. Like, it's only good when everything is packed.
it's only good when I'm better than you.
Yeah. It's all about being better.
You can still be the king of a small country and be the king. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So you got the cabana. You hold out. You book Cabana 10. That's the one right next to the Dancing Dragon bar. You know all the bartenders. You're 10 feet from the bar, and they still have to bring you your drinks. It's a low key king. You know what I'm saying? You're the king of a third world country.
No.
Hey, come on. I'm grading on a curve here. Let's work with me, kids.
So what else has been going on in the parks, man? Anything else after they flipped it from holidays to like what's going on now?
All right, well, let me start with complaining about
Go on. I'm listening.
because what is the City Walk? Not City Walk.
City Walk,
Disney Springs?
Margaritaville.
Disney Springs.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
So went to Disney Springs because everybody in the group decided like, hey, let's do something. Let's go check out
You
Disney
gotta start
Springs.
putting your foot down, man. You gotta
No,
start.
because then I'm the D head that always craps on
No, you
everything.
gotta separate yourself. You gotta be like, well, I'm staying here with the old men that are crapping in the bathroom.
No, but I don't want to be by myself. Like I'll just go along.
Try it.
No, because I want to.
It's fun.
No,
Take
I
a
don't like
nap,
green.
put a cowboy hat over your eyes. Oh, it's so good.
So I go to Disney Springs, and then I did question. I'm like, "What are we gonna do there?" And then they're like, "Oh, there's a band. We'll check out this band playing."
Oh, we'll check out a band. Oh,
And there's
there's some lumberjacks, and they're playing some Canadian music. Like, get out of here with that garbage.
And then we show up, and it is slammed. The cold
Yeah.
did not keep anybody away.
Oh, come over here. There's some street drummers, then we can get a pretzel.
Do you know why it slammed?
Why?
How much does it cost to park there?
We took the transportation from Fort Wilderness over.
right.
Which
so
is a horse. It's weird.
the bus. We took the water taxi to some
That's
place.
not very Fort Wilderness. I feel like
Right.
you should get in a wagon and
Yeah.
they should ride you down. That'd be awesome.
Toothless dude drives you there.
yeah,
Absolutely.
man. Like Gabby Hayes and Roy Rogers.
And this is how off I thought you were going to say Gabby Carter. It threw me for a loop, and I was like, "Oh my, Dan."
No,
Oh.
Gabby Hayes. He
Okay.
was the old chuck wagon cook for, I think it was Roy Rogers.
And then, of course, it was a waste of time, and the kids was too packed. The live band, no one cared about. The drinks
So
are
what were they
18 bucks.
playing? What were they, Third Eye Blind? Was
Yeah,
it
they're
Third Eye
playing-
Blind again?
No, it was not even. It was just some cover band playing. Some. Something. And so then we let. But what do people do at Disney Springs? Why do they go, Joey?
Okay.
I had
I
What are
I
they
knew it
going
was an
there for?
episode of Why Did They Go?
so it costs between like $30 and $50 to park at the parks and do Disney stuff. Let's say you live in Kissimmee, it costs $0 to park at Disney Springs. The entertainment is free. The water is free. Random food samples are free. If you're looking for a 1994 day of mall ratting, that's where you go.
Okay, so it's all the poor people
Bingo.
that just they
Oh,
can't
wait.
afford the parks.
They got a street magician.
That's exactly who I don't want to be around.
I know.
It's,
Yeah.
like,
It's basically outdoor Walmart.
yeah. So,
Is what it is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
outdoor Walmart with a magician and a band.
and everything is
Pretzels.
100 times the cost of Walmart.
Oh, yeah. You have
So no one
idea.
buys anything, but it
Yeah.
looks like
You want a Sam Adams? $18.
they're all,
yeah.
all inside the stores. I mean, how they must buy something because the stores, the rent there. I mean, we've been told.
Yeah, people buy stuff there all the time.
They do. Rent's 50%. Remember? We talked about this. I mean, you
He
have
doesn't
so much
listen to
going
you,
on.
dude.
No,
Are you
nobody
crazy?
does. Nobody listens.
to anything
I
you
just
say,
wait
man.
to talk.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Me too.
No, it's the rent is 50% of the gross, not even the net. So like for every $25 cheeseburger you sell, Disney gets $12.50 and your company gets $12.50. Then you got to pay out your employees, your stuff and all. It's crazy. So they don't even care. They're like, look, these buildings are pretty. It gives people something to do, and all we do is cash checks. Do whatever you want.
Gotcha. So Disney's subsidizing almost all the stores being there. So then therefore no one leaves and they're just there because Disney wants just an endless amount of people
You
going
want it packed.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't want the stores to be like, wait a minute, we can't make any money and then take off. You just want them there.
There's a company that's been there forever, and I go in there to hang out, and I was talking to the manager, and I was like, my gosh, how much money do you guys make annually? This must be a cash cow. And they said, we break even. So what are you talking about? They said, we're only here because this is a virtual billboard for our other stores that are in small cities. I said, no kidding. They're like, yeah, if at the end of the year, if it costs us $3 million to be here and we made $3 million, boom, tax write-off. We're just grateful to be in such a popular place that people then Google our name and they're like, oh, I didn't know there was one of these in Boise, Idaho. We should go there when we go home. I didn't know there was one of these in Boston. You know what I mean?
So the foot traffic is so immense that they literally
That
just have
explains
the
a
stores.
lot.
They don't even need to make money.
Yeah.
They're
I'm really
like,
glad
this
you
is-
brought that up because that's interesting to think that it's just like
Yeah.
that whole place is just a billboard laid flat that they walk on.
Bingo.
Yeah, you're
I
just
mean,
walking on a billboard.
And if Disney's like, hey, we keep track of how many people, 100,000 a week, I mean, more than that probably, come walk through here, and then so you have your store up, it's just a giant advertisement at this point.
Oh, one of the best ones is, and if you remember, I love Universal Studios, where the Quiet Flight just closed down. Did you see this?
Yeah, you know what? That made me sad
Me
because
too.
I've always liked the fact that there was a surf shop that close to the theme park just in case I needed to get some, board shorts.
So what would happen is if
I
you
bought a lot of stuff from that Quiet Flight, too.
Oh, same. I love it. But we used to love it there. So what happened is that was the store that was famous where you could walk in one side all the way through the store and go out the other door to cut out walking around all the stores.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So the Quiet Flight corporate office is like, I don't get it. You're seeing 40,000 people a day come in here. We watch the foot ticker when you walk through and like ding, ding, every time somebody walks through the store and then walks out, they're like, 40,000 people walked through this building. You only sold 8 T-shirts. What's going on? And then they found out what happened. So they put a partition wall up in the middle and it changed everything. So the foot traffic was so bad, they shut down.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
I missed my shortcut.
Bunch of idiots.
interesting,
Because
yeah.
you're right. They're getting 40,000 people a day exposed to their brand and their company.
But I was the guy because, like, when I walked through, and I'm being honest, and Andrea will back me up, my wife, if she's in the chat room, when I would do the shortcut, I would always find some sort of dumb T-shirt or a dumb hat, a pair of Vans or something that I liked in there, and I'd probably, I didn't go through there a ton, but I mean, I did buy a decent amount of surf-style wear from that place just because it was so immense. It was big, man.
I was working at the Hard Rock at the time, and they actually, at pre-shift meeting one time, they actually had to say, hey, for everybody that uses Quiet Flight as a shortcut, please stop. But apparently it's affecting their bottom line somehow. And so all the Hard Rock employees, they'd have to carry their black shirts. So you'd see a bunch of people in black pants and white T-shirts holding a black shirt walking through. And I'm like, I don't think anybody's being fooled by this, guys.
That is wild. I did not know that.
That's a great example of a company that won't change.
It's a butt funnel, right?
It's where like we track results based on who walks into the store and how many sales we get. Well, this is a different scenario here, so change the way you track results. You're like because if you now are saying this is a failure, you don't understand all the people. It's crazy. There's something now you lost it. You'll never get it back.
You'll never get it back.
So last question, Joey. So also another day when we were staying, the group wanted to
This is a gripes. I knew it.
they wanted to take the monorail and go to a resort, and then just like hang out. There's like a beaches, and Contemporary has like a beach next to the lake back there.
Well, what do you guys? We can't have it all. You're either in the woods or Fort Wilderness, or you're at the beach. You can't have it all. Pick one.
Poor people want it all.
That is the problem with poor people. They want it all.
That's the quote.
I know.
And so then we usually go to which is the one with the gingerbread house and inside and the Christmas
The Grand
Floridian.
Grand Floridian.
The Grand Floridian.
And then they wanted to change it up. They're like, let's try a different resort. And they tried the Contemporary, which had like a beach volleyball and some stuff, and no one was there. And then the kids just ran around the beach, and then there's a bar there. We were drinking.
Getting hammered.
And
$18.
you can't use the pool. Like you used to be able to pool hop. They shut that down. But then I was like, is there something better? And then because there's other resorts, like there's the Hawaiian one.
Oh, Polynesian.
Polynesian. Is the Polynesian good to hang out?
The Polynesian's it's my favorite monorail line hotel because that's December 29th, 1974 is where the Beatles signed the paperwork to break up. So there's history there. That bar is still there. You can sit at that bar and have a drink. It's pretty cool.
Even if you're not staying there.
Well, they'll take your money. If you want alcohol, they'll take your money.
Okay.
But you can't use the pool. You can't, hang out around the restaurants.
What if
and
it's
stuff.
just to go number one?
They have a bathroom for that. It's called a pool.
But is there any other activities out there? Because the other Contemporary, they have like a big chess set, or
You're a fan of a big chess set, right? You like an oversized chess.
They put a ping pong table out there and let the kids play. It's like free, expensive stuff.
I want some oversized Jenga. I need a Jumbo Connect 4. What do you got?
This is for the poors. Yeah. I'm just using the.
You can't use that. Tom Segura will be on our ass so bad. He calls them the poors.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you can't say that. That's copywritten by him.
I'll steal everything.
Yeah.
I'll say whatever I want.
The best one
is the correct answer.
At the Riviera Resort, the boutique hotel. It's my favorite Disney hotel on Earth. It's the best. It's again boutique, smaller. They have a courtyard that has a giant swimming pool, a kids swimming pool with a wraparound bar that touches everything over there.
For the kids, that's dope.
Oh yeah. And the best part, it's the only place on property that has bocce courts. So if you want an Italian old man style, real dad, play bocce, get hammered, and talk about your family, it's right there. It's so nice.
All right.
That's my favorite. That's my go-to day off.
Is it super expensive, that hotel, or?
It's middle high tier. It's like you got your Grand Floridian up here, and then you got the Pop Century down here. It's about 40% of the way up. The stack.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
One more thing for the poors. And by the way, Segura can't say it anymore. Too rich.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
can
true.
still say I'm borderline.
Yeah, I think he is backing off of that.
I'm closer to the poors.
Man, lately, I'm real. Yeah, I've been messing up bad
I'm
lately.
closer than Segura is. 18 Porsches. Anyway, so two of my friends, they're really poor. They
That's what makes them fun, though.
they're like, we signed up for a Disney Vacation Club meeting.
Womp
They give us $100 gift card.
And a free flute of champagne.
Yeah, oh.
And then I'm like, what? I bitched the entire night making fun of them.
Oh, I would have too.
Yeah. And then,
in fact, you're gonna have to tell me off the air who it was. I'm gonna tell you. You should have never done that.
Turkey Leg's wife and the Wizard's wife.
Oh, no.
Oh,
what a
it's a
shame.
sign of lower intelligence.
Oh, they seem like
Okay.
such nice people.
It is.
Okay, so
They're wonderful people.
They're
Beautiful.
Like, they're like,
Beautiful.
we signed up for Disney Vacation Club, the like timeshare thing.
Yeah.
All we have to do is sit down for the meeting.
For a 9-hour meeting.
And at the end of the meeting, they list it as 1 hour. At the end, they'll give you a $100 Disney gift card, right?
It's only good at certain locations.
And then I'm like, no way! Like I was laughing, and then I got the Wizard and Turkey Leg. We were all making fun of the wives.
Yeah.
And then for a minute I was like, why aren't you going to my wife?
But I can't do it. I don't think I can
I'm
sit
like-
for a full hour. I can't sit still for a full hour.
And so I was like, there's no, like, they're going to run you through so many hoops and they're going to put you in a room and hard sell you. And I know all about this. And they're going to they're never going to give you the gift card. And if they do, they're going to be like, you have to go inside Magic Kingdom.
And you can only use it for hot chocolate.
Yeah,
Right.
Inside the Magic Kingdom.
And I'm like, there's going to be so many strings attached to this. They got you. You're wasting your GD time. This is going to take you 4 hours.
But they may have unlimited money. I'm not even factoring that in.
So they leave on the boat. I'm laughing at it. We're all laughing. I'm like, we'll never see you again. Like as they get
You're
on
a
the boat.
slave now
Yeah.
to Disney.
And I'm like, good luck. We'll see you at midnight tonight. I was like just talking mad ass.
Suckers.
Mad ass. And then so then we went to whatever resort to go play giant jingo. And then all of a sudden they show up like an hour and 15 minutes later.
That's pretty snappy.
And then I see them walking, and I'm like, oh, they showed, like, they left because they realized that
Nobody
this is all a
showed up.
scam.
They're like, shut it down.
Yeah. And then they're like, here's my gift card. And then I'm like, what? And they're like, no hard sell. The guy was super cool. Now it could be individual, whatever, but he's like, I think that Disney is so rich that they're not like the seagulls, like whatever. Like they're not putting in like
They're not going to
their
nickel
guests
and dime you.
or hard sell or do this whole they gave me the information about Disney Vacation Club, and we were like, all right, and he's like, okay, I'll email you whenever, and then they hand me the thing, and he's like, all right, thank you. And then that was it. And they were like, we got $100 Disney gift card, and it really was
That
just
is
an hour.
more the Disney way.
And I was shocked. I would have bet a lot of money that it wasn't going to be worth it. And I'm just putting it
I
out
like
there.
that you didn't say all the money.
No. I mean, that's subjective, whether it's worth even an hour of your time for a $100 gift card.
I couldn't do it.
Nope.
Now the
Because
way
I'd be making jokes the whole time. Because I'm not there to be serious. I'm literally there just to steal your money.
Yeah, but they said they didn't care because it's Disney money, and that employee didn't care.
Well, if they don't care, then give it to me now. And we're just going to pretend that we sat here for an hour.
They have to do the whole process.
No, they don't.
I guess.
Who has to?
I
Are
guess-
we on camera right now?
Yeah. I guess probably there's some sort of, but I guess they're not trained to really hard sell you like a stereotypical.
How many times can you
timeshare.
do this?
I don't know, but I do know that there are.
Do they write your name down and everything? Okay,
Oh, yeah,
Joey's
one time.
saying one time, but I feel like if I cut my facial hair differently, game on.
All I'm saying that if you were strapped for cash, right, and you had like 10 people in your family,
Hey.
right? No, why would you say?
I was just thinking, if I needed drugs, I'm strapped for cash, I need drugs.
So
I make my way to Disney, on Disney property.
and then you wanted to take 10 of your family to Blizzard Beach for the day, and then the 2 people in your family, or all the adults, go and do the Disney Vacation Club $100 gift card, and then now let's say you have
$1,000 if everybody does it.
yeah, if there's like 5 adults, you know what I'm saying? Like you could like, and people in Vegas do this where they find the deals and
the buffets and the hotel.
I'm going next month. I got a couple of those for you too.
Yeah.
For $160 for the price of booking one, flat outdoor camping pad, you could 10 people to Blizzard Beach and get the $100 vacation club. You could probably pay that.
But you have to look at yourself in the mirror.
yeah, but you're like,
you have to look in the mirror and
it's that or nothing.
A shred of dignity.
No dignity.
Just a sprinkle of integrity in your eyes.
No integrity. Because if I want to go to Disney and take 10 people to Blizzard Beach and I can't do it.
But that's a joke's on you. You'll never want to take 10 people to Disney.
No.
Ever.
I know, of course I don't. But I'm saying if I did.
And you were poor.
And I could not afford it, and there's no way, I'm paying thousands of dollars.
I just beg people for tickets.
There's no
I'd be Craig. I would beg him.
Then you can do it because no one cares. Like, they offer it. And they give it, why take it? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not?
Are there any other ones like that before we get out of here? Unless do you want to keep going and do some Vegas stuff? You got some Vegas ones?
Oh, I got some Vegas stories that'll
some
turn
Vegas.
your hair white.
All right, let's do some scams then. Are there any
It's
other...
not scam. It's taking advantage of the
advantage
system.
of the offers. Taking advantage of offers. Are there any offers, other Disney and or Universal Studios offers or SeaWorld that you know of right now that we're missing maybe?
We just missed a couple of them. Usually what they'll do around November is they'll say, like SeaWorld's famous for this. SeaWorld will do if you buy a 1-year annual pass as a Florida resident, we'll give you the rest of this year free. So you get like 14 months. But the SeaWorld annual pass.
I did that 1 year.
It's so worth it.
It was totally worth it. I feel like the tickets were very, 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 very inexpensive.
It's like $300 now for a SeaWorld annual pass. You get 16 months, you get 6 free tickets for your friends, so you can bring 6 people into the park with you.
Yeah.
You get like 50% off on retail.
And they let you bring your handguns in. I don't know if you know that.
And
they don't make you check them like all the other places where you got to put them in a little locker. This place, man, as long as you have it on your waist and in a proper, what is that thing called? A holster. A holster.
So that's a cool way to go. I miss Wet n Wild. That's still the one.
I do miss Wet n Wild too. But my wife is pre-menopause and it's
I love you, dude. Oh man, I walked down the road with you, holding your hand.
Why are you saying this?
Because I tried to be funny.
There was only one set of footprints. One set of footprints. Daniel was carrying me.
Yeah, I was carrying you the entire time, my son.
Let's end with the Steelers real quick.
Oh, man.
You have this bet every year for the Steelers to win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And at the beginning of the year, of course, everybody knows I lost a tremendous amount of money on that. And I got to pay bookies. And I thought I had to come up with the money immediately, but I guess they wait until the end of the playoffs, which I'm like, I'm going to win it back.
This isn't a joke, but I'm going to let the listeners know that Tom has been, and don't get mad at me for saying this, but apparently he's been having some meetings with his payment here at the studio.
What do you mean?
Well, did you or did you not have payment sitting outside the back door at one point?
Okay, well, this
fourth wall. Fourth wall.
What I'm trying to say is, I don't want to be involved in this. I don't want to be involved in this.
Hey, I thought there was an understanding. There were certain business practices that shouldn't be spoken about.
It wasn't even our mat. He just slid the neighbor's mat over and put it underneath the neighbor's mat.
Dude.
So,
oh man,
and of course they're in the playoffs. They're playing Baltimore this weekend, and the spread.
That'd be a heck of an upset, wouldn't it?
The spread is 10 now. It's been rocketing up because people have watched the Steelers lose their last 4 games. Why couldn't it have been 6? It should have been 6. And I would have won. But
it should have been 6.
And now they're playing Baltimore again, which they just recently played Baltimore and lost pretty badly, where it looked one-sided. And now they're playing them in the playoffs. And everybody assumes, including me, that the Steelers are going to get blown out again. Some people consider Baltimore one of the best teams in the NFL.
They're great.
And Lamar Jackson for MVP. And there's,
he seems to be sort of super dialed in.
So, and that's what my initial thought is, that Baltimore is going to blow the Steelers out, because I was right the whole year. They should never made the playoffs, and they lucked out. They made the playoffs, but their
defense is good.
Steel curtain, baby.
They've got a couple injuries, and Pickens is not playing very well.
No, I had him, trust me.
Russell Wilson stats are horrible.
Yeah. Although they did like him for 3 games. I want to point that out.
That's all you need.
There were 3 games that people were like, Russell Wilson's back, baby.
Although I don't know about taking -10, that seems like a lot, especially they're in conference and they usually keep it close. And I'm like,
Where's the game?
But if I just took a money line, it's in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's HOA, so I hate that. But.
So I don't like -10, but like the money line's -500 around there, and it seems like you put everything you have. Let me win my money that I owe the bookies back.
Oh, so you're
on
chasing
Baltimore.
it? You're chasing it.
Chasing
Are you going to
the high.
chase?
And now what stops me though is then I overthink, and then I sit back and I'm like, is this the time? Because ever since Justin Fields left, everybody, even last game they played the Ravens, were questioning why not put in Fields in a couple plays just to shake it up a little bit. He's a running quarterback.
That was being thrown around.
The defense is going to have to adjust to a running quarterback. Russell Wilson can't run, so they know they don't have to worry about that. But you put in Fields, and Fields won them the first 5 games or whatever.
A bit more unpredictability. He's mobile. Yeah.
And then people were questioning why not put in Fields, and then there's this argument about it, whatever. And then I'm like, is Tomlin going to use Fields for this playoff game? They haven't won a playoff game.
Would you be upset if
in
you
years.
didn't put the money on and you saw Fields was playing?
Well, not that he was playing, but the fact all of a sudden they start using him, because that's the only way that I see that the Steelers could discombobulate the Ravens and all of a sudden have a chance to even win the game, but at least keep it damn close.
What do you think, Joey?
I think you need to stop betting with your head and start betting with your damn heart.
All right.
You think too much.
He's
You think too much.
The hell are you
You
talking
said the
about?
worst word. It is,
I know.
He hates the word hard.
I know. I'm up for this season an amount of money that we won't disclose for legal reasons.
Why
but
not? Why can't
I never bet with my head.
Why can't you just?
That's the worst way, Joey.
But
Why
I'm
can't
up.
you just take? Okay, so you said you have this idea, and then you go, but then I start to overthink it. Stop there.
Yep.
Take the overthink out, and why not just make this the one? Just dedicate yourself to not overthinking and say, this is the one I'm not going to do, and then just set it in motion and just see what happens.
Because here's the thing, I'll put $2,000 on.
Oh
the
my
bu-
God!
on the-
Not please.
Well,
don't.
minus
Not from our
500.
money.
Minus 500. I got to win.
Yeah.
You
my
do.
winning.
That's true. That's what you.
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
the math.
And so that's what I have to put on the Baltimore money line. Then all of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, look at Justin Fields is in for 3rd and 3." And I'm like, "No!" And then all of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, Fields runs for the first down," and then Russell Wilson's back in, and then just interchanging, and they're like, "It's working. It's unbelievable. Tomlin's gonna win his first playoff game in years." And I'm like, "No!" And then I start screaming. Either that could happen, or what everybody thinks is going to happen is that they just go out there
And
and
blow
they
'em out.
play Russell Wilson, and Baltimore looks unbelievable, and they win by 24.
Chat room weighing in. We got I'd be paying close attention to the weather, Tom. Saturday at 8 in Baltimore could be a total snowstorm, making it a game on the ground. Any questions?
Well, that almost benefits Baltimore, because
With old big boy.
well, Lamar could run. Derrick Henry's
Henry's
a beast.
literally that guy's an automobile.
So
he is a ginormous human.
If it's just running, Baltimore has the advantage. I mean,
Definitely.
Especially Najee Harris is not playing good. Warren is,
What if it's a defensive game and the only guy on our team that ever scores is Boswell? We win 12-0 because he makes 4 field goals and they can't score because it's wet.
That happened the first time they played
Yes, it
because they did beat Baltimore, although it was a weird game and there was an insane amount of field goals. Anyway, it kept me off of it, and I'm like, I don't want anything to do with it. But I can't see the Steelers winning, and even if they do, that's why, like, when your team makes the playoffs, like, people are happy, but if they're not going to make it all the way, I just feel immediately disappointed because I'm just like, well, even if they win a playoff game, who cares?
You can't even celebrate that one win.
Unless they have the chance.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah. And I guess
That kind of bums me out. I'm like, oh man, come here, let me give you a hug. Can't even enjoy that your team, like Miami, made the playoffs.
Yeah,
and you're like, yeah, but they'll be out next week.
well, that's what happened in the past 2 years. And then I talked myself into betting on Miami in the coldest game in the history of the NFL. And I'm like, oh, Kansas City heats their field. Like, oh, they have a chance. And then they just get smoked and they're freezing. They're like, I can't even move. I'm from Miami, and I'm like, oh, they were right. That's what I hate about gambling.
Melissa agrees with you, by the way. We have listeners that agree with you. They're like, that's me. No point in rooting for him. We're done. We're done here.
Yes.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah,
I'm out.
It's only fun if there's some way you could talk yourself into them making it to the Super Bowl.
Oh my God, that made me cry.
So whenever I'm 42, we're the same age, and when I was a kid growing up, when I was a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s, I could never figure out why every Sunday my dad and all of his buddies and a couple of the local cops and the mayor, they'd be sitting on the couch watching the TV, and this guy would come up and he would have Christmas cards in October, November. Like he would have Christmas cards and he'd be handing out Christmas cards before the first game started. And they'd open up their Christmas cards and they'd take their money out. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, why do you guys keep getting, every Sunday you guys get Christmas cards or you give somebody a Christmas card? He goes, no, I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. Don't even worry about it. And then later I find out that was
Why don't you mind your effing business?
That's what it was. Apparently the dude would drop by with Christmas cards and give them their money. So if anybody asked what was going on, it's like, oh, it's birthday presents. It's Christmas. I'm like, that's insane.
Tom's desk is filled with Christmas cards. Is it not? Is it not filled with Christmas
But it's not
cards?
that. It's
I don't know what it is. After the whole, now that Bookie or Bookies, I don't know what, he doesn't tell me nothing. Now that Bookie knows where our office is, I mean...
I gotta get one of these bookies on the air because it's a
I can get you
lawless
one.
world.
you.
People are now.
Yeah.
All right, let's set it up.
I
Email
gotta-
me. Yeah, we'll set it up.
I have a buddy of mine that just started doing this down in Miami, and he became one
Why
of
don't
these
we start doing it?
website bookies.
Let's
It's
do
illegal.
it live on the radio.
It's illegal,
It's a
but
betting time with Tom and Dan. Live bookie. Live gambling radio. Why is it illegal?
well,
This is all theater of the mind.
You're
We're
right.
not doing it.
You're right.
Aren't you Seminole?
What county?
Yeah, and I'm Liawatha.
Let's talk about. Let's end with this.
Yeah, you got a little bit of time left.
Did you guys see the video of Jim Irsay, the owner of the Indianapolis Colts?
No.
He's on some futuristic wheelchair. Did you see this?
No.
And he's going from the locker room out down underneath the stadium or whatever, and they're filming him, and he's sitting on some future wheelchair, and he looks old. And people are talking about how some of these extremely old
holy
owners,
smokes! He's
What
on
the
like a
Sad segue.
like a speeder bike or something,
heck?
man.
It works like a Segway, but I've never seen it before. It's like a rich man's old man wheelchair. He's like sitting on it, but it's moving like a Segway. And
that is the future. I need one of those. I need that right now for my hips. My God, can you buy me one of those? With your winnings, you're gonna buy me a future.
Look how old Jim Irsay is, real quick, because I'm guessing he's in his 80s.
He's a alcoholism and painkiller guy, right?
I'm not sure where he made this money. or
Yeah,
whatever.
he went to rehab for alcoholism and painkiller
Oh, yeah,
addiction
yeah.
at least 15 times.
And people are making fun of the Colts, obviously.
He's only 65, bro.
What?
He's only
Oh
65?
my gosh! I
He's
thought he
only
was like
that's
80.
what alcohol do to you right there.
My
Look
God.
at that face. That's what alcohol will do to you
Oh,
right
don't
there.
I
tell
thought
me
he was
that.
in his 80s.
Holy smokes.
Is he
He's 65.
Okay, well, that my whole
God, I'm close to his age. I do need that thing. I need that thing. This guy's my age.
'Cause, my whole point was going to be once you get into your late 70s and 80s, your brain just doesn't work as well. How the hell are you making decisions on $1 billion, company?
He's not even old enough to retire yet.
Yeah, my God, you should still be slinging a hammer, dog.
Well, his condition is why a lot of people are questioning why the Colts are run so poorly. And then you start looking back at the
What, just because he's in a wheelchair? That's kind of mean.
Well, the people
They just think it's like cognitively he's not there.
That's what they're questioning. I mean, people have been questioning that with Jerry Jones because he makes a lot. Now, a lot of these owners just they hire coaches and general managers and they let them do everything. And they are hands off, and they, but some owners like Jerry Jones people are questioning Jim Irsay. I mean, the Browns, obviously, everybody.
Oh my God!
thinks,
He just recently had hip surgery. I am Jim Irsay.
Dun dun dun.
My God!
And you're an alcoholic.
And I own nothing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, get Richardson in there. Oh, he just quit during the game. He tapped his helmet and walked out. He got too tired.
Yeah, he's done. He's sitting back down.
Come on, dude. Killing me.
Anyway, so
Let's get out of here, buddy.
yeah. Well, Joey, thanks for coming by.
Anything to plug?
Yeah, you should definitely check out the DVC. I hear that that's a real popular thing right now.
All right, yeah, Disney Vacation Club. Get on
By the way, I did ask the wives. I was like, "Well, is there anything compelling to why someone would be a Disney Vacation Club member?" And they're like, "I didn't see any advantage whatsoever.
No.
Like it's like $65,000.
It's just access to what they have.
Yeah,
you're buying your way into like the better stuff. That's it.
Yeah, but it costs about $600 a year. And like monthly payments, and you get like 150 points that goes towards a resort or whatever. But I'm just like, why not just use the money to buy whatever resort you want? They're like, no.
but then you wouldn't get the $100 gift card, you idiot.
I didn't understand. So if anybody knows, and I know some Disney Vacation Club members, and they like it, but I don't know what advantage is it.
Merchman Eric is a member, and you've probably really pissed him off.
Well, tell me the advantage.
Between you dumping on Disney Vacation Club and my hatred of rabbits, that guy, he's gonna hate us good, man.
The Disney Vacation Club, if you go to Epcot, they have a lounge on top of Journey to Imagination that hasn't been cleaned since 1989.
Okay,
Yeah.
you get access to the
It's
lounge.
so bad.
I know, that's where I bang Andrea every time I go.
All right, throw out your email, Joey. real
No
quick.
problem. JoeyMazzant@yahoo.com. All social media, the Joey Mazzant. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, man, thanks for being here. Guys, we will see you tomorrow. Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
So, of course, we've all been watching those fires out in California and LA and
man.
stuff. And
I got a lot of friends out there.
Yeah.
We got a lot of comedian buddies out there.
yeah, and then now because of social media, TikTok and stuff, you see all angles of the people dealing with it firsthand. Like I watched a video of some guy, he's bailing in his pool, throwing water
I saw
at some
that.
crate. Like it's the fire
It's
behind
an
the
inferno
fence.
ball. Like, yeah, I
And I'm
saw
like,
this.
oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like,
He has no business doing that. It was a fool's errand.
yeah. But I'm like, you're not gonna be able to stop it. Also, don't you have a hose? Like,
You saw the reporter that's doing the live shot?
No.
And behind him, the house that he's doing a live shot, and he realizes in doing the live shot that the house behind him, as he's turning around and pointing, it's catching on fire. So he runs over and grabs a hose in the shot. And he starts putting out the side next to the air conditioner. He's like putting it out on. He's like, I'm here live. You know, he may have set that up. I don't know. I don't look. It's a terrible situation. I'd like to. To think that maybe he was being a good guy.
So it's like,
But now that I think about it, maybe it was set up.
If you think-
Everything's a setup, right?
well, we're jaded because of
We
Florida.
are, we are.
Because of Florida news reporters will go
They
out.
set it up.
We'll,
They're a
we'll-
bunch of goddamn liars, is
no,
what they are.
no, they'll just stand in like a waist deep puddle.
Except for Mitch English. He's honest. We should get Mitch in here and say, how many times did you lie?
I don't think over in California the news reporters are like, let me just set a small brush fire next to this house.
No,
and
I'm
I'll
not
put
saying
it-
he set the fire. I'm not saying he set it.
Oh, but he saw it coming. He's like, I'm
No,
gonna.
here's what I am
All right.
saying. Here's what I am saying. And I'll say what I say.
Okay.
I think that the hose, he got to the hose pretty quick. So I think the path to the hose and the hose being laid out was ready. Like he knew.
He saw it coming.
He saw it coming. He
Okay,
knew
okay.
that he knew that some of that fire was going to work its way down that brown grass.
and then he
And then
would
he's
be.
like, "Oh, look, it's happening!" And he runs over there. And he puts
okay,
it out.
all right,
He puts it
yeah.
out.
I'll believe
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of like how I pretend to work or take down Christmas lights with my wife.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
she'll turn around and be like, "Oh!" I do like I just move around a lot.
Yeah, every job I've ever
Yeah.
had before this one, that's why I just pretend half the time. I just
Yeah.
pretend to be working.
There's a meme video of a little Mexican man like helping unload a ship, I think, or a cargo, like a cargo vessel of some sort.
Yeah.
And all he's doing is running around looking busy, but he's doing nothing. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah, that's the
awesome.
best- yeah,
it's the best video I've ever seen. Like that guy,
Yeah,
give
yeah.
him an award because
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
doing it right. But anyway, back to the fires. Super horrible, super sad, and they say that, and I wish they wouldn't say this. I wish they would just like write it. Don't say it. They keep saying the worst is yet to come.
All right, so let me ask you this. This is going to sound horribly insensitive.
I love that. Wait, is this a variation of Defending a Monster? I love these. Hold on. I don't even know what the song is. I don't even know what the song is.
As long as they turn it into a bit, I can say how I really feel.
Yeah, here we go. Defending a Monster.
No, I'm never defending anybody. I'm just I'm questioning something. Okay, just asking a question.
Is this a gripe?
So
I do have the theme song for gripes.
So I'll get people that text me like when we have a couple hurricanes
Don't
come
do
through
that.
here.
Don't text me when we have hurricanes asking if I'm okay.
Okay,
Don't do
yeah,
that.
yeah. So they'll
Leave me alone.
And the people out of state, my friends, they'll just be consuming the national media of the hurricanes, which
Why would you do that?
Well, it only shows the worst parts. You know what I'm saying?
Why would you do
it? Shows the house floating away.
In other states, I don't want. Look, I saw the LA fires on the news, but I don't consume it. I put that out of my mind. That's not happening here.
Yeah, but that's what everybody else sees. But they just see the worst. So we're seeing the LA fire. I wonder, my question is it, maybe it's not as bad as we perceive it, just like when people out of state and the Californians will be like,
is this where you
that's just
argue,
happening.
Like, maybe there were some good parts about being a slave. Remember that? Remember people were trying to do that? Remember, like, I think DeSantis
they got 3 meals a day.
Some of his camp, like, they learned English. It was great being a slave. Is this the lane we're going down? Because I don't know if I can save this. I don't know if I can.
Hold on, put a music in front of it.
Write a song. Write a song about
people
it.
love defending a monster.
They
didn't say,
really like
hey, this is inappropriate.
They didn't say stop it.
I'm just maybe it's
so you're saying
only in small pockets.
We're seeing the worst parts,
and we're just assuming that everywhere is affected by it. And most of the people, they're like, "Oh, that's in this hillside neighborhood. It's not." You know, what I'm saying you're only seeing the horrible.
Okay, here's what
I'm
saying.
It's like just like when you see the storm surge come in south of Tampa, you're seeing the devastation, and then you're like, "Oh, well, it's affecting everybody." And then you're like, you talk to someone in Tampa, like, "Oh, we're fine."
We have boots on the ground. We have a listener, Levi, who's out there all the time.
It's terrifying. Fire is terrifying.
Yeah, it is terrifying. I believe Levi works in entertainment. I could be wrong on that, but you can tell me. But he says, and I'll quote, he says, "It is bad, mostly in Pacific Palisades." Levi, if there's anything else you want to lay in the chat room for us to reiterate, you're there. You see it.
I saw Guy Torrey.
Oh my God, his hair caught on fire.
No, his Instagram. He was like at a hotel room or something, and
what was he doing? Buying drugs?
The pool of the hotel was
on fire,
black with soot. And
he was pissed because he wanted to swim.
he was like, "Look how bad the ash is," and I'm like, "Weird. There's so much ash has rained down.
Look how bad this ash is." Coming up next on Diners, Drives, and Dives.
And like I'm so
yes or no, you watch Supermarket Sweep? Yes or no? Or what is it? Supermarket Showdown? What's his show that he has? Guys Grocery Games. Yes or no, you watch Guys Grocery Games?
I didn't even know that was a show.
You've never watched that show on Food Network?
No, I don't watch.
Oh my God! It's only Maisie's second. It's Maisie's second favorite show behind Bob's Burgers is Guys Grocery Games.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
No.
Chefs compete to earn. They got to find all the ingredients. They're racing through a supermarket. Him and his kid are always up to some sort of hijinks with the clock. They're always trying to throw you off with the clock. Like they'll say, "Hey, you guys might want to start thinking about what you're cooking." But see, did you catch what I said there? I said the word start. Clock's already going.
Is it like Supermarket Sweep?
Exactly. It's a carbon copy, except they added the annoying presence of Guy and his entire family.
Guy Torrey, right?
Not Guy Torrey. Guy Fieri.
Okay. I said Guy Torrey.
I know. I was going to.
That's why I was so confused. I was like, how long has he been doing this? He's been here 10 times.
We're doing Guy. That's a completely different guy.
All right, yeah. So when you said Guy, I was like, I didn't know Guy Torrey was hosting some supermarket.
Guy Torrey's Guy's Grocery Game. That'd be a way better show.
Yeah, we only talked to him about Fat Tuesday. If I didn't know he was doing.
That's coming back too. That's actually coming back too.
So with the, I saw something too about the fires that there were like 99-mile-an-hour winds, and I'm like, God damn! That's hurricane force winds.
I do accept if you are in the news. If you're sitting on a 99, I will accept 100. If you want to say 100. Mile-per-hour winds.
Is that gusts? no good can come from.
Defending a monster.
No good can come from downplaying horrible fires, burning down people's homes, and killing people. I mean, people dying.
Absolutely,
right?
but I will say that I get sad when I go online and I see people that are like, oh, they deserve it. You know, I'm like, oh man, don't be that.
For what? For like,
well, just being rich or California, you liberal. They just don't be that person.
God.
My God, be a good human. We're all here we're all here to try and live as long as we can in a harmonious way. So just don't be that person.
Now, if I'm defending that guy, I would say that in his mind, he's so maybe religious that he thinks, those people are, the devil. And he thinks that the God is coming for them. So therefore, he thinks it's God.
Yeah, like burn the gay highways. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So he believes, may believe that it's actually the highest power in the world.
Yeah, imagine you go to bed hoping the gay state of California catches on fire. The next day you wake up and they're like 100-mile-per-hour winds.
I mean, people think like that.
I mean,
it's insane, but, if I was on the stand, I would just be like, he's so stupid. He thinks this is somehow a higher power. Anyway.
You want to do a couple emails? We got time for just a couple here. Starting off the new year with fresh new emails. Like trying to weed out all the ones that are asking about where's Lee? I'm like, oh, okay.
Where's Lee?
I have a tendency to hold on to stuff. I am a bit of a hoarder. You've seen my desk and all the equipment from 2006 that's on there. This one is from Patrick. He says, hey, Dan, I'm getting my triathlon coach prepped to do a weird job with you guys. I want to give him a show to listen to. I thought that the one where the big-ass dude is doing the Huracan 300 would be a good place to start, with how an interview goes with you guys. Although today's ACT was gold. Glad to have you guys back. The trouble is, on Apple, it won't go that far back. On the app, I cannot get January of last year to load, and a similar problem with the website. It won't show me from January of last year. Is there any way that you could give me the RSS feed? I don't know anything about technology. I just heard you say it. Or some other way that I could send him that show to listen to. I think it's the show from January 30th. At least that's when you posted it on Instagram. Thanks for your time, Patrick. This has to do with how many shows we actually release and being a BDM member, right?
Okay, yeah, and a lot of people aren't familiar, and maybe we never really talk about it. So
we're really bad at promoting any of the things that we use for survival. Real bad.
The shows only archive back 100 shows. Yeah. That's every Friday free show and a corporate time, right? And we don't have we're discussing and we're building the possibility of giving certain members access to the entire archive.
Yeah, but we're really just saying that. It's too hard for us to do it. It's just an idea at this time. It's really just an idea.
We got a BDM that's going to help us.
We might as well be saying flying car.
I got to email that guy today. I forgot.
I knew you forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot too. If you forgot, you bet your ass I forgot.
So, but more importantly, I already responded back to this person. He's trying to get his running coach or his marathon. Basically, the guy's an ultra marathoner or whatever. Anyway, and I'm like, we've talked too much about it.
Get the hell out of here.
No, but he was
some porn stars on here.
He was asking. He's like, do you have a show that I could show him to see how the interview goes?
We get some porn stars on there, some black guys that don't know what carrots are.
And
that was a Beetlejuice joke.
I found the request odd because who is skeptical of how an interview is going to go?
Most people on our show.
No. But I say, what is the guy looking for that is concerning, or that information about an interview?
Well, like our rapport, like how we come off. Maybe he thinks we're gonna mess with him or something.
But he's not a famous person that does interviews all the time. I can understand about a famous person doing interviews all the time, and you're like, I don't want to,
don't set me up here.
If you're like Sarah Silverman, let's say, and
she declined our interview, and I had it set up. Why are you saying that? You're trying to make me mad. You're trying to trigger me.
No,
I set it up, and then they said, sorry, she's decided to decline. Well, I just decided to decline her.
And she well, you're taking personally.
I take everything personally, Tom. I'm taking even what you're saying right now very personally.
And she was like, let me know what show I'm going on, because I don't want to get, sucker punched by some conservative question because they know I'm
Yeah.
liberal.
Or some shock jock radio guy is going to make me sit on the Simeon.
Yeah, because I don't have time for it. I'm too famous or whatever. But this person, he's just looking to do any interview just to promote a sport that is not very popular because it's insanely hard and only crazy addicts do it. Yeah. So then I'm curious to like, hey, I got to show him an interview so that he understands what he's coming into, and I'm just like. But we're just talking to him about what he does.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? What does he think?
But do you see that maybe he is, much like you, overthinking the interview process, right? Wouldn't you do that? Like, if you, aren't you going to try to be on Who's the Baddie? Like, you would overthink that, right? You would want to be prepared. Like, what's the show about? You're going to listen to it, right?
Well, I would want to know, and I did already find out, like, what do you need me to do?
Right.
And so...
Because you don't want to be on the hook for something that you didn't know about.
I don't want to show up unprepared.
Right.
Because, but
so that's him, right?
But the podcast that I'm doing, Who's the Baddie, is about looking at a movie and figuring out if there could be a different alternative bad guy, villain in the movie, and then arguing that the villain you thought was the villain is not the villain. This is the real villain. See, that's more complicated.
Listeners are being mean. You got
who's mean? I'll be mean to them.
Well, Tracy is being mean. And Tracy is our QB. She works with us hand in hand.
I'll be mean back.
Tracy said maybe he doesn't want someone who is flat-footed and runs like a duck to interview him.
All right. Okay. Well,
that was the most hurtful thing I've seen in the chat room all morning.
Well, even though Sam Darnold did awesome, he played one bad game and people are ready to fire him.
They are. Why did they turn
bring
him
in
so
JJ?
fast?
Because they turn fast, and I turn fast. I'll turn in a second, fast. You can make me millions.
I'll turn like a jet boat.
Yeah. And then one bad day, I'm like, that's it.
I'm suddenly going the other direction.
Let's see who else is available. Anyway,
we gotta get out of here, buddy. Anything to plug before we take off?
Let's
Gotta
see.
have something. How about the rib thing? How about 1010's rib deal?
Amateur rib contest this Saturday, January 11th at 1010 Brewery. They've got a charity raffle, bunch of delicious amateur ribs cooked by. I mean, you say amateur, but they don't make money. No one makes money cooking
For
ribs.
For a split second, it sort of sounded like you said, tons of delicious amateurs. And I was like, I'll be there.
Yeah, but like the guys.
That's my favorite. I love Gonzo ribs.
Yeah, I mean because they use the best ingredients possible because they're
not big rib.
Yeah.
You go over to Sonny's and they're giving you the worst of the worst. But if this guy's literally trimming every ounce of fat.
Yes,
he's slathering them with triple mustard. He's doing all the rubs.
It's better than any restaurant ribs for sure
because they want to win.
Yeah. It's like home crafted beer is going to be better than even a craft brewery because you have to cut corners a little bit.
You got to have an ego attached. You got an ego attached, it'll taste better.
Exactly. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow.